Chapter 20. I told Aunt Peach I'd rather eat dirt for a week than come to ballroom dancing, but she said it's going to help me socially. Sophie folded her arms tight. Like there's hope. Sophie stood miserably in a red dress near the wall of the YMCA gym, as far away from Amber Mellencroft and Sarah Kravitz as possible. Tree stood next to her. Sully and Eli were out front, hiding in the bushes. Coach Glummer's cousin Sheila tossed her head. Lazar tossed his. They stood cheek to cheek, arms extended, knees bent. "The tango," Sheila said, "is making a comeback, and I want you to experience it." They rotated dramatically, not smiling. Lazar bent Sheila back. "The tango is about passion." The boys started laughing, especially Jeremy Liggins. The girls giggled. The tango is about despair and emotional power. It was born during a time of great economic hardship. People danced it to express the sadness in their hearts. Sophie looked at Tree, who knew he wasn't up to this. "Don't be afraid of passion and despair," Sheila shouted. "We all have deep rivers running through us. This dance will help you find them." "I'm there." Sophie grabbed Tree's hand and marched onto the dance floor. After 60 minutes of tango practice, Tree had found despair. He was too tall for this dance. To look directly into Sophie's eyes, he had to bend low. To fully extend his arms with Sophie's, she had to grab his elbow instead of his hand. He almost dropped Sophie when he had to lean her back. And the worst part was, Sophie loved it. "Okay, we're going to connect with our deep rivers of despair, Tree, and get so sad we can hardly stand it. We're going to let all the garbage that's been thrown at us come out and show these people what's what." Tree was absolutely certain he couldn't do that. But Lazar picked Tree and Sophie and Amber and Jeremy to demonstrate. They walked to the middle of the dance floor. Amber looked at Sophie, held her nose. "Mr. Cosgrove should have put you in the dumpster," Sophie snarled. "You are so pathetic." "You think so?" Tree stood tall, stared at Amber. "Stop it!" Amber looked away. Silence from Jeremy. "Together with the eyes," Lazar shouted. Sophie's dark eyes fixated on Tree. "Okay, from that, young peoples, we find our sadness." Hands on hips, Sophie stepped defiantly past Amber, who was having trouble finding anything. Sophie tossed her head, posed with pain. A big part of the tango is posing. She did a little twirl around Tree, who almost went in the right direction. He stood there like a stage prop, trying to keep his deep rivers to himself. Sophie stomped her foot. Her red skirt flared up. She glared at Amber, who looked down. "You see from that?" Lazar shouted. "The girl. She becomes the dance." Painful music swelled, and Sophie Santak owned that dance floor. She really didn't need a partner, but Tree wasn't giving up his slot. She came close. "We're going to try that cheek-to-cheek thing and pray to God we don't mess up." Tree prayed, bent down to reach her cheek. "Stand tall," Sophie told him. "Wear it proud." They danced cheek to chest, which was a lot easier. Tree bent her back for the finish. The music ended, but not the pain. That's the point of the tango.